BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion with the largest selection of odds on everything from NBA and college basketball to NHL and UFC. BetOnline continues to be your number one sports betting source for every three-pointer to hat trick. BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline, the game starts here. Bet.
Who that say they gon' beat them say? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gon' beat them say? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gon' beat them say? Who that?
Yeah. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports Coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, 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 Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy and you probably smell the crooked referees on Roger Goodell. Yeah, probably like this and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, 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 Boogie like this and I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
All right, shout out to the mighty Who Dat Nation, man. Welcome. We're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports fam. What's popping? Shout out to the fam. Appreciate y'all being in the stream. Wednesday stream. Shout out to the fam for my Patreon champions and YouTube membership family. We got 2 new videos that'll be available. I'm editing those videos over the last couple of days, but they will be completed and ready for you guys. I'm going to say tonight. So they'll be up on Patreon and also for our YouTube membership family. There's the first mock draft with videos attached to it as well. Not just, my regular text mocks, but also have footage attached to it. So when I usually do those shows, the draft shows, it kind of, with the video, it gives it an extra punch. So I hope you guys just be a little bit more patient on our Patreon. I shout out to you guys. I appreciate you, and our YouTube membership family. So if you guys want to check that out, please feel free to join on Patreon or become a member of the channel to get that behind the scenes show. So big ups to all of our supporters and family members, man. Much love to you guys as well. So big ups to everybody. Appreciate y'all for being in the stream in this thing. Big ups to everybody. I see y'all, man. Everybody, Gundam, OG, Ty, Can You Too, you vibing with the Johnsons, Super Saints fan. Shout out to you, fam. Appreciate you as well. Brother JT, shout out to you, my brother. Blessings to you, brother Gregory. Charlie, shout out to you. KT, shout out to you. KT, we're going to bring KT in, man. KT, I call him KT, the Super Scout. We'll bring KT in on the back of the broadcast after we cover some of the latest news and notes. And I'm kind of switching the format up a little bit today, going into the future. Well, we'll just cover the news, and then there'll be a segment following the news where I give commentary on the stories that I cover. But in today's broadcast, we got KT. He'll be dropping some science on some of these NFL prospects. And shout out to you, KT. Appreciate you, bro. We'll bring you in after the news. So check email for the link All right. So anyway, big ups to everybody. Shout out to you guys, brother Keldrick, Dr. Key. Good to see y'all in the stream as well, man. Much love to all y'all, man. Appreciate you as well. Shout out to my girl Deborah. Shout out to her. Who dat? That's right, baby girl. Marley Mall is in this thing. King Chosen One. Big ups to you as well. Much love to all y'all, man. I hope y'all having a fantastic week, productive week. Going forward. My week has actually been a good week in many ways, you know, and I'm very happy. All right. So anyway, with that being said, man, let's talk some black and gold. Now we're getting close to some moves and things that's going on out there in the NFL stratosphere, so to speak, the NFL world, right? And hold on, it's my time. Hold on. Good golly gosh, we're here. Hold on now. This is my time. Yeah, that's right. Mickey Loomis is cutting away, as you can see right here. Shout out to Nick Underhill, provided this little giblet for the mighty Who Dat Nation. McCoy's restructure, as you heard, Erik McCoy's restructuring his contract, according to a source. Saints are working to get under the cap. So this is one of many moves to talk about. We're also going to talk about what's really strange, and we had the show, the last stream, where we kind of talked about. We talked about guys that's going to be cut, and then toward the back end of the broadcast, we talked about Jamal Pokemon, Williams, and boy, Jamal was the first one to catch that axe from the mighty Who Dat Nation, and that wasn't all Jamal Williams' fault. Now we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that. Well, them goddamn Pokemon cards didn't have no power down here. I don't want to laugh, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just let the button do it. Them damn Pokemon cards didn't have no power down here. Good God. Oh man, he draw the Pokemon card that gave him the ability to decrease half his powers, and the last one he pulled was the scissor card. And he is and now he's on the airplane card, and he's getting this was a terrible. It was that signing had so much potential. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to rate that. I'm gonna have to rate it, man. I'm gonna ask y'all a poll question. Which was the worst signing recently that the Saints have had? Was it Marcus May or Jamal Williams? Hold on, hold on now. Hold on. Let me just put this. Hold on. Let me do this right quick. Hold on. Let me put a poll question. I got to know. Y'all got to help me out. God damn it. Y'all got to help me out. Hold on here. All right, hold on. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Which was he? Which was the worst signing? Let me hold on, fam. I got to get y'all on this one. I got to know, man. Inquiring minds got to know. Hold on here. Marcus May. It got to be a third option. Okay, Jamal Williams, Marcus May. What was another one that stunk? The high hell. Oh my God. Who got released? The Saints. I can't think of it. But anyway, right now, let me go ahead on and do that. Oh my goodness. Hold on here. Okay, there we go. All right, now here it is. It's up there now, fam. There it is. I want to know. Y'all answer that truthfully now. The poll question right now in the chat is, which was the worst signing? And while y'all working on that, I'm gonna go over some of these articles right here and talk about it, man. Oh, nah, Browner, nah, Doc. Browner's not. It's recent. It's No, it's recent. Now we're not going back to Brown. Isn't Browner in jail? Isn't Brown? Did I remember that right? Not Jamal. Whatever his name, Browner. Isn't Browner in jail? That big garbage safety we signed. Remember, we got him on. He was a big member He's a big member. He was of the Legion of Boom. But isn't that guy in jail? Yeah, okay. The Quavadia said he said Browner was worse than both. But yeah, we're not going that far back. We just going back like underneath the Coach Octopus era. Nah, Jarrett's too far back, bro. We just talking about over the last couple of years, like going to, that too. So yeah, that's it. We're gonna just stick with them two right now. You can't talk Derek Brown right now, brother. Come on. I mean, Derek Carr. Carr hadn't been cut yet, or whatever. We're talking about guys that were cut and released. Which were the worst two? We had Marcus May and Jamal Williams. Y'all chime in the chat. Let me know how y'all feel. All right, so anyway, man, let's jump right off into it. Big ups to everybody joining the stream. Good to see you. What's up, Rome? Jerome in the building. Shout out to you, Doc Ty. Big ups to everybody, man. Appreciate y'all. King Chosen One. Much love, Quavadius. I see you, homeboy. What's up, brother Jack, as well. Kalani, big ups to you. Yeah, it says we need to quit aging running backs, period, if they're over 27 years. It's free. Yeah, bro, it's weird about the running backs, but hopefully they're on their way back, man. Like what we talking about with what you seen with Saquon, man. Saquon got broke, got paid, man. So maybe we can change that narrative a little bit. But anyway, let's get right into it, man. Erik McCoy restructured his contract according to a source. Saints are working to get under the cap, and then of course Dick Underhill then kind of retweeted his thing and then put on that McCoy's restructure would clear more than $7 million in cap space for the Saints. And where does that place us at right now? We'll give y'all guys a little brief cap update on what's going on with the Saints. This is currently where they're at right now. As right now is recent. Let me refresh my matter of fact. Just under $40 million right now after the $7 million restructure for Erik McCoy. And then, of course, you look at the cutting of Jamal Williams, I think saved the Saints like $2 million or something like that. Altogether, they're now under $40 million according to over the cap. So that's what the Saints are right now. And as you can tell, they got a lot of chopping to do just to get back to zero. And then once again, keep chopping until they get a surplus. And most estimates have the Saints after restructuring getting anywhere between $15 to $20 million. That's what some people are saying. Now, that's like a combination of maybe 5 to 7 different people that's out there that's saying that is the possibility of restructured money that the New Orleans Saints could have heading into this free agency that's coming up soon. So Mickey Loomis did allude and say that the Saints are going to be players or active in it, which would indicate that the Saints are going to kick the can. That's the only way you could possibly be active when you're $40 million in the red. Restructure, kick the can into the future. Mickey Loomis is obviously going to do that. That's how we're going to attempt to sign guys like Chase, possibly Paulson Adebo, and maybe another person or two, MBS or Willie, depending on Willie Gay, depending on where they want to go. But that is how you're going to do it. It's like Saints can't afford it. Nah, what Mickey Loomis he sacrifices the future for the present by keep restructuring. So yes, he can possibly sign these players back with cheap 1-year deals. Not 1-year deals. Let me reframe that. But cheap deals with the first year, like less than 1.2, 1.5 million, stuff like that. And then roll the second year is a quantum leap. It'll go from 1.2, 1.5, less than 2 million to like 10, 15, 20, like I showed y'all before. The Derek Carr contract, when they restructured it, the base salary for that particular year was 1.2 million. And then the next year it went boom, a jump to $30 million. Then it's literally tons of contracts that's then levied into the restructure that lasts 3 years after the player is no longer active on the team. That is called dead money. Anyway, let's take a look at it, man. Let me see if I could pull up if they updated Erik McCoy's agreement according to over the cap, because he was up there. Let me see what McCoy at is right now. Y'all give me I just seen him up there. Hold on, fam. Let me see. I might be overlooking him. There you go. All right, let's get him up there. Here's McCoy. And his 2025 number, as you can see, is 1.17. And then look at the next year, balloons to 10 million. You see what I'm saying? That's on all the restructured contracts and look where it goes. So he's restructured. So 2025 is to be 1.1, then 26 it goes to 10, then 27 is 10.5, and then he has 2 phantom years that's affixed to it for 31 and 32. That'll be Saints will be paying him 2 years after he's no longer under contract, because by 2027 he'll be 30 years old. So we'll see what happens with McCoy. McCoy had a lot of injuries this past year, and that's my thing about Erik McCoy. I like Erik McCoy a lot, but it's just we need somebody to fire this, because the one thing I can say about McCoy that is an issue is his aggression. Like, he's too cool. He's too cool for school. He's too cool at time, and he's the leader of that offensive line. You got to level up and have more of a nasty disposition. The nastiest offensive disposition lineman the Saints have is Trevor Penning. Possibly Tali Fuaga could be that guy, but you see the chippiness of Penning when he pushing people and all that kind of stuff. Now, it kind of used to be that it last year got to be a little annoying because he was always late to the party on stuff. But McCoy is the unsung leader of the offensive line. We need his temperament to change to be more aggressive. And also the injuries is another thing. And of course, he's 28 years old. He had those injuries last year. And when you see that start happening as these guys get older, you need to start looking at having fortified replacements behind them, or backups that can step in, especially the backup center role. We need to really take the backup center role really serious. You see what I'm saying? We really need to. Because when McCoy went out last year, Coach Possum did not have the Saints prepared to lose the center, and it showed. It messed the Saints up for 3 to 4 something odd games before they were able to find a decent center, and they really didn't find a decent center. We didn't have a backup center on the depth chart last year. And that was something like, where's the center at? Well, we'll just shift the guard over there. And it just caused all kind of madness. So when a guy gets hurt, you don't want to shuffle everything. That's just creates a lot of anarchy. We just need to make sure we have guys that are ready to step in, especially at the backup center position, and be able to get in there and make things pop and keep it rolling as best they can. But anyway, that's the restructure that y'all looking with Erik McCoy. Shout out to McCoy for helping the Saints out right there on that, but all they do is just cut him. He didn't lose any money on it. They just give him a check, right now, here you go, straight up. It's not like a pay cut or nothing. But anyway, and then of course we move on to the next situation here. And this was something that was covered a couple of days ago. We talked about this, that Saints moving on from $12 million favorite after 2 years, and that is, of course, Mr. Pokemon himself, Jamal Williams. That was reported on Tuesday that Adam Schefter said that the Saints were releasing him. And of course, he joined in the 2020 season after 2 straight solid campaigns as a member of the Lions. He racked up over 1,000 yards to go along with 17 rushing touchdowns for the Saints. And his time with New Orleans was catastrophically awful. And it wasn't just all on him. It was it was a combination of them it was just a lot of stuff. Let's just say that, right? All right. Anyway, he says it goes on with 17 rushing touchdowns in that 1 year with Detroit 2023. The same production did not carry over to his time in New Orleans. That he had 306 rushing yards in 23 and 164 in 24. To be fair to him, he certainly didn't have the same role in New Orleans as he had in Detroit. No, he was actually supposed to come in as a complimentary back to Alvin Kamara. It just did not materialize, right? It didn't look good under Pete Carmichael. It did not look good under Clint Kubiak, because Kubiak just didn't know how to use these other players. If you have an Alvin Kamara, hell, most of you guys could run an offense with Alvin Kamara, Taysom Hill, Chris Olave, because those guys are fantastic. They're game breakers. But when you really are tested as an OC, when you are able to use other players, not stars, in conjunction with those star players, and many times you can use the stars as decoy to get your other players involved and have them to have success. And then many times that is a good way where you can win games because a lot of times the defenses are not looking at those other guys. So when they start cooking, they'll just let them cook. Just as they won't, their philosophy is on Elvin Kamara, on Taysom Hill, on Chris Olave, on Rashid Shaheed. You see what I'm saying? All the top notch talent. But those other guys, the others, they'll let them cook all day. They'll let them beat them. You know, they won't game plan to stop those guys. But we just couldn't get that. So the 29-year-old quickly became a fan favorite in New Orleans, though, after signing a three-year, $12 million deal with the team. Now he will head to the open market, and the Saints will get at least some cap relief to the release to Williams. Only saves a little more than $1 million. I thought it was $2 million, but we'll see. But that's just a start. So Saints have a lot of work to do, and it's just the beginning. We are less than 1 week away from free agency. Now, this is Tuesday. So anyway, shout out to Saints News Network, brother Kyle T. Mosley over there. All right, and anyway, man, let's keep it moving to the next one. And this is something that happened today. This the Saints announced the coaching staff. How about that? The Black and Gold announced the coaching staff and officially. So you meet the coaches. This is after some time the Saints have fulfilled their coaching staff, and they are announcing it. Of course, we knew about some of the other guys, the big names like Dougie Nussmeier, whose son is currently the starting quarterback of the LSU Tigers. So life is good in the house of Nussmeier, right? You know, it's got a Super Bowl ring, son leading LSU. Could be a big year for them. So life is good right now in the house of the Nussmeiers. Let's just say that. So anyway, Doug Nussmeier, he'll take over as the OC. We knew that from what he did work with Kellen Moore. With Philly, Brandon Staley, this was the guy that gave him a job as an offensive coordinator when Coach Staley was the head coach of the Chargers over there. So he is now saying, you do me a solid, I'll do you a solid. It's cool how that works, huh? It's pretty cool. So Brandon Staley is the defensive coordinator. He arrives in New Orleans from the Niners. He was an assistant over there. And we'll see what he got going on, man. He got a name for self, that fierce Rams defense. But we'll see what he got going on for the Saints. So that's pretty good. Phil Galliano, we know about Coach Phil. He was the assistant underneath Darren Rizzi, who took a job with Coach Payton. So Phil is the new special teams coordinator. And then, of course, Joel Thomas. Y'all know Joel Thomas. He used to be the running backs coach for many years here before he took the same job with the Giants last year. Didn't work out too well. He comes back here. Everybody's familiar with. And he is the associate head coach. So if Kellen Moore has an issue, you know, if it doesn't work out and they put him in the street down the line and Joel Thomas is still on the team, guess who steps in as interim? That's right. He steps in as the interim coach, just like what happened with Rizzi during Coach Possum's administration. All right, Terry Joseph. This is brother his from New Orleans, Northwestern State University. He's the defensive pass game coordinator. Returns to the hometown to serve in his last 4 years as the defensive pass game coordinator and secondary coach at the University of Texas. Helped lead the Longhorns defense to an impressive 2024 season, ranking 7th nationally in passing yards allowed, just under 174 yards a game, and tied for first in interceptions. He was key in the development of Jahdae Barron, who won the Thorpe Award. Really good cornerback, by the way. All-American. Prior to his time at Texas, he served as defensive backs coach at Notre Dame. A very impressive resume, and he also comes from Shaw. So, you know, this is a brother from down here, and it's good to see him coming back home. The defensive pass game coordinator, Mr. Terry Joseph. TJ Pagnetti, this is a guy that was the run game coordinator in Kellen Moore's situation. Pagnetti arrives in New Orleans serving as the run game specialist, assistant offensive line coach for the Eagles last year. He served on Philly's offensive staff for the 8 seasons as the run game specialist and assistant tight ends coach, offensive quality control coach, assistant run. This guy did it all, right? So the Eagles rushed for a single season club record over 3,000 yards, 6th in NFL history, and finished second in league in rushing, 179.3, and became only the second in NFL history to rush for 3,000 plus yards and run for at least 25 touchdowns. Well, you know, 25 touchdowns, he actually had 29. So A lot of people like TJ Pagnetti. They think he'll be a big addition to the offensive line as well. And that's something that you wanted to focus on, fam, is that it appears like with Kellen Moore, that would probably be the focus for the team in terms of getting the running attack going, building up the offensive line, and having a strong running attack. Like I said, that has to happen for success. Robert Blanton is the assistant defensive back coach from the University of Notre Dame. Blanton joins New Orleans after spending the past 4 seasons. Ain't got a picture for this guy yet. Spending the past 4 seasons as the Miami of Ohio's University, served as defensive pass game coordinator and safeties coach. They got him as an assistant DB coach, a 4-year letterman in Notre Dame, blah, blah, blah. So this guy also joins the staff, Robert Blanton. Then you have Grady Brown, seen as the cornerbacks coach, right? Arrives in New Orleans after tutoring the Steelers defensive backs past 4 seasons since arriving in Pitt. Minka Fitzpatrick was an AP first team All-Pro, named to the Pro Bowl 3 times and led the NFL in interceptions. In 2022, under Brown's watch, in 23, Brown played an instrumental role in the development of rookie cornerback Joey Porter Jr., who was selected to the PFWA All-Rookie Team, a second-round, 32nd overall draft pick in 2023. And he did a lot of positive stuff with some of these players. So it just going to show you some of his resume that he played. He was served as either defensive coordinator or coach at secondary at McNeese State. So he's very in tune from the secondary standpoint. So Grady Brown is listed there. Bo Davis is one of my favorite signings the Saints have as coaches, assistant coaches. It's Coach Bo Davis. This was a really good one from LSU. He was the defensive line coach from LSU. And the man knows how to coach defensive line. So I'm really excited about Coach Bo Davis. And they're supposed to be keeping Young as well. Young is news as well that Brian Young is going to be around too as an assistant. So that is also a good thing. But Coach Davis, 30 years of coaching experience, 5 in the NFL, spent the 2024 season in the same role at LSU. Did a lot of great things for the LSU defensive lineman, Braden Swinson, who's going to be probably a day 2 pickup. Savion Jones, those guys, some of these guys you guys might not know of, but these are good players that he helped to develop. Paris Shan is another one, did a really good job. So he's from McGee, Mississippi. I don't know if y'all guys ever passed through McGee, but McGee is a very McGee, a country as it get, but native played nose guard for the Tigers from 1992, earning all SEC honors as a senior. Davis enjoyed 3 coaching stints in Baton Rouge. Also worked with NFL staffs with the Dolphins, Jaguars, and Detroit Lions. Really like Bo Davis. He knows how to coach defensive line. This will be very important, family, because Cam Jordan is already who he's going to be, but we got maybe Bo Davis can unlock, Carl Granderson, and he can become that guy. Now, we've seen Carl Granderson be good, but last year he got locked in on 5.5 sacks, so that Chase Young, and they got out sacked, so to speak, by our interior defensive tackle. But at the end of the day, Bo Davis could teach these guys something, man. And of course, you got guys like Isaiah Foskey, whoever the Saints drafted, bring along in the draft. We're going to need Coach Davis to kind of get that defensive line going. That pass rush has to happen, man. So I'm happy to add him. Chase Haslett, we know about him. He's he's a son of former Saint head coach Jim Haslett. He'll be coaching the tight ends for the Saints. Tobiah Hewley, he's an offensive assistant. Also, you have Jari Evans, who's an assistant as well. This is a former offensive lineman as well, who's coming in to kind of help the Saints. So a lot of these guys, very interesting pickups by the Saints. Brendan Nugent, we familiar with Coach Nugent. He was here before during the glory times when the Saints were here during the Coach Payton era. 21 years of coaching, 12 in the NFL, returns to New Orleans for the second stint. From 2015, 21 including offensive line, and 21 an assistant offensive line coach in 2017 to 20. Served as an offensive assistant with Seattle in 2024 from 2017 to 21. He worked with New Orleans offensive line as primary position group. Saints surrendered only 131 sacks. That's the lowest total in NFL history, tied for the first in rushing touchdowns with 103. So you can see the guy knew how and was very fortunate to have a terrific offensive lineman there as well to kind of help, teach, because that's another thing the Saints have to work on. Let's just say that, man, from the offensive standpoint. And I've been saying this for a while. Our offensive line is not as good as you think it is. Neither is our defensive line. We get ran on consistently, and we can't run the ball consistently. So those are two negative things that will have you with double-digit losses. If you can't stop the run or run, it's a problem. So Brendan Nugent is brought back to kind of help that. Scott Linehan, if y'all remember him, used to be a coach with the Rams. He arrives in New Orleans, 37 years of coaching experience. He's the senior offensive assistant, so he'll be the guy, the senior, or the Coach Chaney that was to Sean Payton, right? That's who Linehan will be to Kellen Moore. He's that senior offensive assistant, an extra pair of eyes there. 37 years of coaching experience, 16 in the NFL. He was the head coach of the Rams from 2016, 2008, served as offensive coordinator with the Cowboys from 2015 to 18, Lions, Dolphins, Vikings. He also has the guy's been in the game for a very long. The game has been very good to him. And now he's in New Orleans helping Kellen Moore. Jay Rogers, this is who they call the edges guy. So Rogers, 24-year coaching veteran, includes 16 NFL, previously served with the Falcons defensive line in 2024. I don't know about all that. Last season, he guided a young defensive line to help the Falcons, allowing the 11 rushing touchdowns, tied for the fewest in NFL. Native served as Saints defense coordinator Brandon Staley. So there you go. So that's a Staley guy for his defense. Peter Sermon. This is the linebackers coach that they picked up. So 17 years in NFL. He's from Washington State. He was with Tennessee Titans and joins the Saints after 7 years on the University of Cal coaching staff. He's tutoring the linebackers from the Golden Bears, served as defensive coordinator the last 5 years, was a nominee for the Broyles Award, recognizing the best FBS assistant coach in the nation last year, scoring defense 22-31, ranked 36 in the nation and second in the ACC, allowing just 10.5 points per game, fewer than the almost 33 it allowed in 2023. So that's a significant turnaround when you are able to move a defense from giving up 33 points to just 10.5. That's significant right there. But also has a lot of positive stuff in his resume to talk about. So a lot of these guys, man, college guys, we'll see what they can do. Scott Tolzien will be the new quarterbacks coach. And Tolzien was with the Cowboys. So it's another one of the things where, in 2023, with Dak Prescott, his best statistical season where he finished second in NFL MVP voting, led the league in completions and passing touchdowns. Only the Cowboys quarterback to finish first outright in passing scores, finishing second in passer rating and third in passing yards. Could that be the case? Could he do that? Could he possibly do something with Derek Carr? Could Scott Tolzien have such a turnaround? Could he do that with Derek Carr? Because that's who he might be dealing with, according to Mickey Loma. So Kyle Valero, this is the assistant wide receiver coach. He'll be working with Coach Williams, joins New Orleans, spending after spending some time with the Eagles as the offensive assistant, a coaching veteran of 15 years of experience working in the NFL with stops with the Cowboys. There go those Tides. And he also talked about how he helped Dallas rank 4th in the NFL in scoring 27.5 points per game, while mentoring CeeDee Lamb to top 6 finishes among wide receivers with career highs in receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns. Could that be done with Chris Olave? Could that be done with potentially, a highly drafted wide receiver? If that's indeed the case, perhaps somebody coming here. Saints do have a ton of needs to look at going forward, man. So Cal Valero. And then, of course, Kyle Wilbur. This is the assistant special teams coach under Phil Galliano. Joins the Saints as an assistant special teams coach after spending the previous 2 seasons as a special teams quality control coach with Green Bay. The Packers kickoff coverage was among the best in the league. Opponents started at the 28.8-yard line after kicks, second best in the NFL. Kicker Brandon McManus was also brought in for the final 11 contest and made 20 of 21 attempts. 20 of 21 attempts, not bad. 95.2 field goal percentage, second among all kickers. Wilbur helped tutor cornerback return specialist Kasim Nixon to lead the NFL in kick return yards and kickoff touch. So this guy, Kyle Wilbur, could possibly be working with Rashid Shaheed. getting them back to Pro Bowl prominence. One can only hope. And this is Ted Rath, the Get Back coach. He's now the director of sports performance. Rath arrives in New Orleans after 4 seasons directing the strength and conditioning efforts of the Eagles. So he comes in here to help out with that. And he has also some accolades there as the Professional Football Strength and Conditioning Coaches Association Strength Coach of the Year. He will oversee all strength and conditioning efforts in New Orleans. And one of their top guys left for the Saints. So Ted Rath comes in, all these other guys are going. And this is kind of a breakdown right here, the Saints offensive coaches. As you can see them right here as we went over them. Nice little breakdown table showing everybody. You see, and you can see also Jari Evans that we talked about. We mentioned that he's as one of these assistant offensive line coach. And then you go to the defensive style with Staley, Terry Joseph, defensive pass game coordinator, Bo Davis is defensive line, Jay Rogers is the edge coaches. And then you got the Brian Young. See, we've talked about Brian Young. The team retained Brian Young, who did a lot of good work for the Saints. So he'll work with Coach Bo. That'll be pretty good. And you can see the rest of them guys right there. Is Blanton, the assistant defensive backs coach. Adam Gristick is the assistant linebackers coach under Peter Sermon. And Peter Guenta is still the senior defensive assistant with the Saints. 10th year with the Saints, 34th in the NFL. I think he's the longest tenured coach as far as with the Saints are concerned. Hold on, where's Linehan? Linehan had 17 years in the NFL, and you talk about, Guenta is a senior defensive assistant, 34 years in the league. Special teams coach, you can see him right there as well. So very interesting, man. This is all the people right here going forward. Yeah, you got that. So, man, Saints announced their staff, fam. How y'all feel about some of these guys? I mean, right now I'm on my show me game right now. I'm not ready to say nothing about none of that right now. We're just gonna see how it turns out, man. We'll see how it all turns out. All right, let's move on to this one, man. We're gonna bounce to this one. How the Saints could free $60 million in cap space right here. Shout out to Kat Terrell. This was her article she wrote. As we approaching free agency, Saints must free up approximately $43 million in salary cap space before the new league year begins. 4 p.m. Eastern time on March the 12th. It's on its way. In 2025, salary cap was set at $279.2 million on Thursday, which is almost $24 million raised from last year. Teams are not allowed to be over the salary cap once free agent signing period begins, giving the Saints a week to get cap compliant. So we're going to see a rash of restructures and releases coming up. The $45 million estimate includes dead money, hits from releasing wide receiver Michael Thomas, quarterback Jameis Winston in 2024, and trading cornerback Marshawn Lattimore in November. It also accounts for the potential voiding of wide receiver Juwan Johnson, defensive lineman Tanu Passanio, and defensive end Chase Young's contracts. If those 3 contracts void when the league year begins, a total of $17.4 million will accelerate into the cap, pushing the Saints' dead money total to $65 million, or 23.5% of their total cap. The dead money number will grow as the Saints release other players upon the expected retirement of right tackle Ryan Ramczyk, who restructured his contract in January to account for his spend and exit. The Saints lowered Ramczyk's salary to the league minimum of $1.255, and Ramczyk has not played since 2023 season due to serious knee issues. And this move paves the way for him to officially retire after June 1st. The Saints will then get his base salary credited back and will take on over $11 million in dead money this year and almost $12 million next year. New Orleans also released Jamal Williams, who rushed for 470 yards and 2 touchdowns and since signing a 3-year deal in 2023. The Saints absorbed $2.34 million in dead money by cutting Williams. Here's what we know about the Saints salary cap situation and how they can get under it by March the 12th. So this is the first things first. What does keeping Carr do? Well, what does it mean to the Saints salary cap compliance? The Saints made their most important decision of the offseason when they decided to stick with Carr for a 3rd year. You heard what Mickey Loomis said, and I don't need to say it again. Loomis indicated the team will move forward with Carr, a decision that did not appear to be set in stone when the offseason began. His $30 million base salary becomes fully guaranteed on the 3rd day of the league year. The size of the salary always factors into everything. I ain't going to report what Bill Loomis says, but Carr's $51.4 million cap figure made it almost impossible for the team to get through free agency without addressing it in some way. When the team could have just avoided absorbing the $50 million dead money cap figure this year by making him a post June 1st cut, they still would have to carry his base salary on the books until that date, giving them little space to sign, players in free agency. Releasing him outright would put $50 million on the books immediately and only save $1.3 million against the salary cap. But that sounds like too much sense. That sounds like way too much sense. Carr, who signed a 4-year contract in 2023, told ESPN early in the offseason that he wasn't open to a pay cut. But the Saints could either sign him to an extension or convert his $30 million base salary and $10 million roster bonus to a signing bonus. A restructure seems like the most likely option at this point. It's the only option. If you're not going to outright trade him or release him, a restructure is the only move that they could be looking at it. And then, of course, these are the words of Dumb Loomis. It's tight. There's no secret to that, Loomis said of the salary cap situation. And his is a big number, so hopefully we'll be able to maneuver it. A full restructure of Carr's contract will free up almost $31 million in 25, but push $7.7 million into 2026, giving him a 2026 cap figure of $69 million, which means a restructure means you don't get rid of Derek Carr. If you don't get rid of him this year and you restructure him, you'll be stuck with him for this year and next year. There's no way in the world that you're going to dump a guy with a. And when they get to, and then the thing about it is when you get to Carr's contract next year, it's a $70 million. What you think the Saints going to do again? Boys and girls, you want to take a stab at that? That's Dumb Loomis. But anyway, the downside of restructuring Carr's contract is that releasing him next year will have a bigger impact on the salary cap. A full restructure would add $7.7 million to each year of the deal. And the Saints release him in 26, that would either face about a $42.4 million dead money charge. That's ridiculous. Or $19.2 million as a post June 1st cut while still having to carry his salary through this offseason. The restructure is a bad idea over the next 2 years. But what the hell do I know, right? The upside is that the full restructure of Carr's contract puts the Saints more than halfway to cap compliance if played at the current cap figure. The Saints do not elect to do pay cuts for any other player. They would likely need to do a full restructure at least 8 of their top contracts to get free agency, and several more moves after that to sign free agents and rookies and establish a practice squad. So restructure cap savings about $31 million, right? Very interesting. And that's the thing, none of these guys interested in any pay cuts. I mean, you're a leverage if you're the general manager, and really I'm not mad at them for not taking a pay cut. You ask them. If they say no, no. But if I'm stuck with money problems, and I actually take a pay cut, you don't take it, I'm going to have to cut you. It's not your fault. I have to think about the future of the team. But if I'm a guy that didn't care about the future of the team, I'm just going to keep lying to myself and kicking the can down the road, because that's what I do, because I'm simple-minded. I talk like this, and online you got to look past the results, and you got to look beyond the results, and then sometimes you can't look beyond. Remember that he screwed up. He said you got to look beyond the results, and then he checked himself. You remember that? If you're simple-minded like that, you do stupid stuff like this. Your team, you need to cut players. I mean, you have a lot of contracts that are bad contracts and players that are too old. Now is the time to move this forward, not kick the can again. But since I love to kick the can, because it's a game I've been playing since I was a child back, way back in the day, when we, and my favorite group is the Eagles, and that's what I used to do. I like Rick Springsteen. Hold on now, yeah. This guy is crazy. He's a simpleton. Kicking the can is one of the baddest games. Worst games. I hate the kicking can game because I make it look. I hate the kicking the can game. Damn it! But it is what it is. Which players could be approached about pay cuts? There are usually 1 or 2 players a year approached to take a pay cut. It usually only happens when the team is open to releasing the player if they negotiated contract isn't met. But in some situations, team will concede some guaranteed money or add years to the contract in exchange for short-term salary decrease. 2 candidates, Cam Jordan and Taysom Hill. While Jordan said he wants to play a 15th season, he was unhappy with his playing time under Dennis Allen and does not want to be moved to defensive tackle. He would likely stay with the Saints, but doing so at the current $20 million cap hit is unlikely. Obviously, Cam's been an important guy for us. I know Cam has already talked to Moore on a couple of occasions. Say Loomis, Jordan had six sacks the last 2 years. Base salary is 12.5. This is definitely a sentimental contract because it ain't based on production. Saints have already guaranteed $1.5 million of his 2025 base, and his full base will become guaranteed on the third day of the league year. Restructuring would open up about $9 million in space, would add up to $17 million in dead money charge next year if his contract voids. You gotta take a pay cut. I ain't gonna take one. All right, well, hasta la vista to you, brother. Appreciate you. One comparable example to Jordan is perhaps defensive end Will Smith, who took a rest in power to that brother, took a $6 million pay cut to return to the Saints in 2013, which was his final season. Using that number as an estimate, the Saints could lower Jordan's base salary to $6.5 million and keep him on the roster for at least one more season. That will leave a still significant but more manageable $14 million cap hit and not the what was it, $17 million? He sacrifices the future for the present. That's what he does. That's how all these contracts are set up. Moore said that Jordan has been awesome and said his impact goes beyond the field. Yeah, but that's like talking about Pokemon cards and all that. The community service under your charitable foundations, which is an umbrella, and that you get both the good press of doing something positive and the great tax shelter that it represents for your salary is awesome. But at the end of the day, you know, it doesn't necessarily contribute to wins on the field like Jamal's Pokemon cards and his cats. You know, it's one of these things, like if you want him to be a, what you call it, you want him to be a what's the guy dancing around with you want him to be a mascot. If you want it for a mascot, I'm pretty sure you can get him cheaper than that. All right, but anyway, Jordan pay cut saving $6 million. If you post June's first cuts, him almost doubles. Hill scored 6 touchdowns in 24, but suffered several significant injuries, including a torn ACL in the season. He currently counts almost $18 million against the cap. We're talking Taysom Hill now. Loomis said there hasn't been retirement discussions with Hill despite his injury because he's not going to retire. You know, so this is what Loomis said about it. He said, I'll try to block that sort of thing out of my mind. Yeah, I don't want to put that thought in anybody's head. Yeah, because they asking me to retire. I don't want to, especially when he's playing as well as he was playing. You know, he had an idiot for an offensive coordinator last year that overused the man in his middle 30s. These people are insane. Although Hill's a tight end in name only, his cash value is $10 million next season, is tied for 11th in this position in 2025. Releasing Hill at a normal cut would provide minimal cap savings. If the Saints gave Hill and Jordan the same base salary, they would save $3.5 million against the cap for Hill's contract. They'd save $10 million base salary if he made Hill a post June 1st cut. So his savings would be 3.5. Hill post cut would be 10. So they're adding these up for us. What contracts could be restructured? The no-brainer restructures come from some of the young core players. McCoy, who was already restructured. We know about him. Saints could take McCoy's $9.6 million salary and a $500,000 roster bonus and convert them to signing bonus and spread them out over the remaining years of his contract. That is called the phantom year, which he'll pay that player for the next 2 or 3 years for the restructuring. And they are already done this already. So they've restructured his deal. Cesar Salad Ruiz will be on the 26th when the 25 season begins and still has $9.2 million in guaranteed salary left on his deal. He's signed through 2027 and is a good candidate for a restructure. All of these guys are going to get restructured. Let's just be honest. Jamal Williams got cut. I mean, Cedric Wilson more than likely is going to get cut too. You know, and Nate Shepard, you can probably look out for him too. You know, but most of all these guys, when you sitting up at $40-something million over the cap, that's not like one or two guys. You're gonna have about 7-8 players that's gonna deal with restructures, because it ain't just getting to zero from 40 million to zero. Okay, we good now. But you don't have any money. You got to keep restructuring until you get enough money to be able to then go into to add more players to the team, improve the team, signing your players, signing free agents, signing draft picks, all this kind of stuff. Ruiz saving 6.4. Carl Granderson, 7.7 million in base salary guaranteed 25 and 3.4 guaranteed for 26. So typical restructure will work here as well, with a $5.25 million savings. Pete Werner, who just signed an extension, he signed a contract extension this past season. Base salary is 4.25 is guaranteed, so they're likely a restructure here. If they still need the money, that's 2.46 in savings. What could the Saints do with the veteran contracts like Elvin Kamara, who also signed a deal last year that he reached in October? This could be the case for Demario Davis and Tyrann Mathieu. Both took pay cuts last year and have similar contracts going into the year, so they took pay cuts or restructures. And it's like every year the team coming out it's a restructuring fool. So if the Saints keep both Davis and Tyrann on the roster this year, they might not choose to restructure their deals. Davis counts at 2.4 against the salary cap this season and will count 8.7 against the cap next year if his contract voids in 26. Tyrann counts 11.3 against the base salary, could count 7.2 against the cap if his contract voids for next year. If both contracts are fully restructured, the Saints will absorb almost $12 million in charge for Matthew's contract if it voids next year, and $4.32 million for Davis' contract if it voids. Tyrann Mathieu has said that he wants to play a few more years, but if the Saints move on, they would need to release him as a post-June 1st cut. What does that look like? Well, according to Cat Terrell, Tyrann post-June 1st cut savings is 6.2. His restructure is 4.5. DeMario's, if he has done that, $4 million, his restructure is 5.5. So it makes more sense there. The Saints could also save a little money against the cap if they release veteran defensive tackle Colin Saunders. Played 39% of the defensive snaps in 24 after missing 4 games due to injury. He's entering the final season of a 3-year deal he signed in 2023. That'll be a $2.1 million savings. Also, guys like we talked about. Now, honestly, tell me the truth. If Bink Saunders is released, how would y'all guys feel about that? Could y'all let me know how would y'all feel? Because there's also other guys that need to be cut. Cedric Wilson Jr., Nate Shepard. But these are the restructures. These are some of the stuff that, the things that we'll see over the next several days happen with the Saints, because like I said, they got to free up a lot of money. Now this is Cat Terrell's complete article. And with that being said, if they did what she said in terms of the cuts and releasing players, they can get 60 million in space that way. But that is not the formula of what Mickey Loomis is doing, because he is still trying to hold on. I told y'all he's going to still hold on to the thought process of we're going to just keep doing what we're doing. And then 2 years from now in 2027, we're going to have all of this cap relief because all of these players are going to be gone, even though you'll still be locked in position with several players, money that'll be attached to them. The dead money is going to be through the roof. And he just doesn't want to face that at this time. So he'll flam and bullshit his way into keeping these players on the team. And like I said, shout out to some of the family out there that was like, JQ, we can this is the best thing we can do in terms of such and such. Car gives us the best chance. And I'm like, how? What do you mean? What do you mean? And that's like through everything. I'm like, nah, because you're not considering everything that you could use right now. Because right now is the time when you do that. I mean, you can use trades to see if you can find somebody, and whether it's a backup quarterback, whatever the case may be, there might be a guy cheaper that can do, that can read a defense a little bit better. Because the real sticking point for the Saints offense, they're going to be running the ball a lot. You're going to be running the ball a lot. So I don't know it. And of course, I don't see a quarterback in the draft the Saints are going to go. Now, there is this stuff about Deion Sanders' son, Shador, because he didn't throw at the draft. A lot of people didn't like that. So a lot of them got him pushing him all the way down to the 20s in this draft. I'm like, man, get out of here. He's going to throw at the pro day. He's going to turn around and throw at the pro day, and that'll just put him back up there. But that just goes to show you who controlling the rankings and the ratings on these players. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Boy, that stuff is fake as Billboard rankings, boy. You don't trust none of that. Oh man, I'm ranking number 1 on the Billboard. Man, that stuff fake, man. As an old control poll, man. But yeah, but anyway, that's a complete farce. I think eventually you'll see a guy like Shador go back up there. I don't know if the Saints will have a shot at him. I don't know if the Saints are looking. You know, I mean, there might be something here because in every one of these drafts, you know, you look at the top 2 prospects, it's Cam Ward, it's Shador, and then the third candidate that's sitting there is Jackson Dart, like it or lump it. Dart is a guy that's seen as the 3rd best quarterback in his class. Then the cat from Texas, Ewers, and then you got all these other guys that rolled out on top of that. So I had an opportunity to look at some tape on one of the family members asked me about Tyler Show, the 6'5" quarterback from Louisville. I watched some tape on him, and I was like, yeah, you know what? Dude got some skill to his game, man. Big quarterback that can throw the ball around. Had a lot of good production there at Louisville too. I don't know where he fits, but it's an interesting mix of some of these guys that'll probably be somewhere in the 4th and 5th round range, where you start seeing a lot of these guys come off the board. These quarterbacks, like the 4th and 5th to the 6th round range, you're gonna see a bunch of them come off the board. You know, in the late 3rd, because I could see somebody taking Jackson Dart in the 2nd round. Or Jalen Milroe is another guy that impressed him in the combine. You know, a lot of people look at him, his versatility. They've seen that he threw the ball a little bit better there. Of course, when the pro days happen, that'll kind of improve their stock. Well, like with Shador waiting to throw everything at the pro day, you'll have all those same scouts that's down rating them and B rating them right now. They'll be over there in Colorado watching them play. You know, and that was a good little technique he did. You know, I ain't going to throw here, but if you really want to see me, I'll come and talk to you all day. But if you want to see me, baby, meet me at the pro day. That ain't nothing but Coach Prime breaking that down. You know, that brings attention to the school program. Them guys are master publicists, man. You know, they know how to do it, baby. I got to give it to them. They know how to do it. But they got a lot of good young quarterbacks in this draft. But I don't think a lot of those guys coming off the board in the 4th, the 5th, somewhere in that round, you'll see guys like Will Howard and Tyler Show and Dylan Gabriel, who's a diminutive quarterback, but his guy played a ton of college football, could play the game. He'll be there. So in the end, it all depends on who you like, you know, to be your guy. I like Kyle McCord. I think Kyle McCord, it's not as athletic as you like, but a guy, he don't have a big arm and don't do all that kind of stuff, but he is smart and he's accurate. He has some stuff he got to work on. But they got a good mix of quarterbacks, but at least the top 2. There's top 2 guys, and then there's everybody else, right? Jackson Dart is I was watching some tape on Jackson Dart. I was watching some of the stuff he did at the combine. You know, I like some of the stuff that he do. I don't know how and, you know, what a Kellen Moore quarterback looks like, you know what I mean? Because at some point, you know, the Saints are going to reach for one of those they're going to go for a quarterback at some point. If Carr's here, hey, hold on now. We keep Carr, and I'll let you go ahead and pick your quarterback. You know, and you never know who he's going to get. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they go up to get one of the top 2 guys, even though they kind of had discussions and talked to a couple of these guys. I seen what Shador was doing, wearing one of the Saints hats around, but that's just a publicity trick, you know. But we'll see how it all goes, man. The draft is still a ways away. All right, KT, you ready, brother? Hit that link and we'll get you on here. All right, check email, bro. All right, so anyway, big ups to you guys for being in the stream. Let me go to this poll, man. All right. We'll bring KT in a second here. Let me go to the poll right here, man. Which was the worst signing? 50. Okay, come on. 56% of the family members says Marcus May over Jamal Will. Okay, 56% versus 44. Okay. All right. Okay, Marcus May. Yeah, Marcus May. Oh my God, Marcus May wasn't that good. All right. Anyway, we're gonna bring KT in. KT, welcome on in. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, bro. Hopefully, when Pops see this video, he don't chew me out like he did the last one that me and you did together. My dad had a field day with me.
Uh-oh, there is Pops is the super scout too, that KT.
Oh no, Pops! Like me and him talk draft, and we shoot, chop it up. Man, he made it sound like he was a director. Well, you talk too much about. You didn't go in depth on this play. You ain't going depth. Dad, Dad, he only has so much time. Boy, I'm just saying. Yes, sir.
You gotta have the ability to be able to forecast. You gotta be able to forecast, and you gotta be able to see between the lines, baby. That's what make you a super scout.
Yeah, that's that Popley wisdom, brother. You know, they've been around a block and they can see the rhythms of time. They know how it's going to fold, bro. So, yeah, we know
My
how
dad. Yeah, I'll tell you. The biggest free agent bust the same side is Derek Dallas Carr, then Sabucky Jones, then Marcus May.
But see, the thing is, the reason why you got Williams and May up there on the poll is because those players are released. Now, of course, the moment Carr gets cut, which won't happen, but should have happened. But the moment he does, that's number one, man. The amount of money and the production, the numbers, it just all that doesn't even add up. But anyway, KT, let's get right into it, my brother.
All right.
We talking about some of the stuff going on with some of these draft guys, man. First and foremost, it's a lot of mixed opinions about the Saints' needs. Let's start there before we start talking about some of the prospects. What are the Saints' needs in your opinion? What do we need? What's 1, 2, and 3 in terms of needs?
Okay. This is just my opinion. I'm going cornerback at 1 because Alante Taylor showed he couldn't be a number 1 cornerback. I'm holding out hope for Kool-Aid, but Kool-Aid looks like he's going to be a 2, and we realistically might lose Paulson Adebo. So I would go cornerback 1, edge rusher, even though I think Isaiah Foskey will do better in a 3-4. Edge is my number 2, and 3, we need it's a tie. We need a big physical wide receiver, a true X, as well as a guard.
That's right. I agree with that, bro. I'm kind of we need a lot though, KT. You think about it, bro. Depending on what the Saints do, you're right on that with the Isaiah Foskey. At some point, we got to get out. We got to get Foskey trained up, man. Time is just running away, and we wasting time with Cam Jordan now. We need to, if we're going to go into the future, we need to go. Foskey's just wasting away. Going into his 3rd year, KT. His 3rd year, man.
Well, Q, I told you this when they named Dennis Allen the head coach and everybody thought I was hating. I never bought into that defensive genius stock because Allen had Khalil Mack and Von Miller, 2 of the best edge rushers of their generation early in their career, and he just played them out of position. Look what happened with Zach Bond. Look what happened with all these other players we had that balled out once they got away from the Saints. So I blame Doink the Clown. Now, players we'll just go at the 3 biggest needs we started at. So, 1, my top corner is Will Johnson. Dude is 6'2", big, fast, physical, can excel in press, man, zone. The only knock on him is he's coming off an injury, but he's still my number 1 corner.
Yeah, he's phenomenal, man. I got to give it to you on that. He's awesome, man.
You saw what he did when Marvin Harrison Jr. was at Ohio State. He held his own.
Yep.
Now, number 2 is going to shock some people. I know I talk about Siobhan Ravel from Eastern Carolina, but after what I saw at the Combine, I got to go with Darian Porter from Iowa State. This guy is 6'2", 200 pounds. Even though he has a wiry frame, he's a willing tackler. He will give you run support, and he has the speed to keep up with the smaller, faster wide receivers, and is physical enough to deal with your big wide receivers. That's my number 2.
Okay.
My 3, it's a tie just because the guy I'm going to name first, you can move him around anywhere. He's like a Swiss Army knife. Jahdae Barron from Texas, because he can play corner, he can play safety. They got him listed at defensive back. Q, if you watch the tape,
I seen him.
you see him everywhere.
That dude is awesome. What didn't he win the Thorpe this year? Didn't he win the?
I think he did. I'm not
He won
sure,
a
but I
Thorpe.
think
Yeah, he won a Thorpe this year.
that brother is awesome.
He awesome.
And I would have went with Zion Alexander from LSU. I don't hate LSU players. Let's get that out the way. But his foot speed, we gonna get to that, Q. But I gotta put Denzel Burke from Ohio State, because Denzel Burke, watching him this season, he excelled in press, he excelled in man, he got better tracking the ball on deep routes, and he just did that off raw ability. Imagine what happens when he gets a quality coach. That's why Jahdae Barron and Denzel Burke are tied for my number 3.
That's interesting, KT, talk about Denzel Burke, man, because a lot of people considered him a bit. I've heard guys call him undeveloped insofar as it being a little bit raw, but his potential, man, he's off chain. What he showed in a couple of games I watched, Burke plays, he's not afraid of the big moment, bro.
That Texas game when they put him on Isaiah Bond, I'm like, okay, I know you going up and you a dog. Plus, you went up against pro level wide receivers in college and practice every day.
All the
There's
time.
something about you. Yeah. I'm not knocking Zion Alexander. I would take Zion Alexander if we double dip at corner, just like I would double dip and take Noah Williams. These are physical, jam you at the line of scrimmage corners, but they had that PJ Williams problem where they don't have enough makeup speed. But with Brandon Staley's system, we're going to play a lot of zones, so we'll have the safeties to make up for that. Edge, Mike Green from Marshall. The Senior Bowl made me a believer when he dog walked old boy to the backfield. He has the quick first step. He converts speed to power. He's way better in the run game than more people want to give him credit for. So Mike Green is awesome. My number 2, and I'm going to save you the trouble, Q, so you don't have to pronounce his name. Princely Uman Mielen from Ole Miss. He's a little bit wiry, but like Pops would always say, that's why you have pro athletic training staff, so you can build that muscle. 6'5", 250, 260, and still has a quick first step. Yeah. He's good in the run game, but that first step is like, you think he's jumping offside, but he's timing it. This boy is awesome.
Bro, they get somebody, because a lot of what he's doing, and I'm not saying that he's still got a lot to work on, KT, from what I'm watching, bro, but the dude is awesome, man. Just imagine if you can get him fully, if Coach Bo Davis can get this guy and really turn him into something. What do you think Princely goes in the draft? You think he's a second round guy or a third?
I got him as day 2. That's all I can say, Q. Day two. My third one, this is going to shock. I'm going back to Ohio State. And it's not JT, just because he reminds me of a more athletic Trey Hendrickson.
Jack
Sawyer. He does. James Pierce is on another level. James Pierce Jr. is on another level. That's just pie in the sky. If we get him, I'm not going to complain. I will do karaoke with you, Q, if we get James Pierce Jr. But I'm looking at realistically, Jack Sawyer. He does jack of all trades, master of none. He does everything well. You don't have to worry about his motor being off. This dude, and y'all can come for me in the comments, I look at him, I see a lot of Max Crosby because his motor never shuts down. You never have to question his effort. He may not win with speed, but that bull rush is coming and he's going to bludgeon you and beat you to death. Run game, pass game, Jack Sawyer is a dog.
Jack, yeah, I gotta give it to because at first JT obviously on film jumps out, but Jack Sawyer is 2 words I describe Jack Sawyer: football player.
Exactly.
That guy is yeah. You have somebody with Jack Sawyer. Even though we know the Saints love Ohio State guys, so maybe
But yeah, I'll give you a couple of positions after we finish the top 3. But yeah, James Pierce, I think he'll be gone before we draft. I love him. That first step is awesome. That boy is a beast. That is like having a pit bull and just letting them loose on the kids you didn't like at school. Go get them.
Awesome. Love Pierce.
Just that awesome. Now we can move on to the wide receivers, the ex-wide receivers.
Okay, let's go. I'm ready, KT.
All right. I'm just going to name 3 and I'll give you an honorable mention. We all love T-Mac. T-Mac is big, physical, can give you some run after the catch. The only question is, will he be there? If T-Mac's not there, I would be happy with Trey Harris from Ole Miss. He showed me at the combine the way he was cutting and breaking on that ankle that he could do it. Hey, the physicality is there to run block, and he looks wiry, but like your boy Rip Hamilton.
Yeah.
Just because he look wiry don't mean he ain't strong.
Yeah, he good with the 50-50s too. Yeah.
Yeah, and he does have some run after the catch. Now, the one I kept telling you about, Jaden Higgins, the wide receiver from Iowa State, 6'4", 210 pounds. This boy is a route running technician and he can block. And he's not one of those big wide receivers. He does have the speed, but he doesn't use the speed to get open. He uses his route running. Then after he catches the ball, he excels. Now, Pat Bryan from Illinois is another one of those ex-wide receivers that excels in route running. As small as he looks, he's physical. He blocks. He beats up the cornerback in his route running, his blocking, everything. It's just the foot speed is like, okay, run after the catch, he might get you an extra 5 or 10 yards. That's the only knock on Pat Bryan. But the route, yeah, that's where I got a day three pick later rounds, but he would be a good value pick. Now, our honorable mention would be our boy from TCU, Savion Williams.
Awesome.
This guy, awesome, had limited time at wide receiver, but everybody, this is what you got to realize. This is a 6'5", almost 230-pound man, and they're using him in the Deebo Samuel Taysom Hill role.
So is.
He's running out the backfield, catching. He had 6 touchdowns receiving and catching. He's quicker than you think, even though his 40 times like 4.5. Long strider, can go up and get the 50-50 ball, and he'll move the chains. Savion Williams is an honorable mention one.
What does he go, KT? Hold on, KT, before you move. What does Savion Williams go? A second round pick? I say second.
I say second or third. The thing that scares me, if we don't get him, I hope he doesn't go to the 49ers.
Oh, they traded Deebo. You know they're looking at Savion Williams.
Yeah, that would be like, okay, that would just be like, hey, Brock, we know you're mad that we got rid of Deebo, but here's a new toy.
This guy? Right, exactly. All right, now go ahead, KT. Who else you got, brother? These are good.
This go right underneath Savion Williams. Eric Engelmanner.
Oh, I was about to ask you about from Stanford.
Yes, because when I saw this guy's game, I saw glimpses and flashes of young Michael Thomas because the defender back, he caught a pass off the back of Travis Hunter's helmet. Travis Hunter couldn't have had no better coverage on that play, and he just took it from him. He runs good routes. He runs clean routes.
Yes.
He's a route run. He has a PhD, like Steve Smith Sr. said, has a PhD in route running.
Yeah.
But he's faster than you think. This guy runs a 4.4 40, 6'4", 210. He's physical. A lot of your faster wide receivers don't have that physicality with them. That guy has it in spades. That's another one. So with this draft, with our needs, it's like going shopping, grocery shopping with your parents after they got their tax return. You finna get name brand needs. You don't have to settle for this bargain bin stuff. You can get high quality name brand players. Nothing against try hard guys. You can get some try hard guys like a Brew McCoy or Daquan Felton. But this is where you go get creme de la creme. You don't have to go in free agency for the wide receiver class. You can go shop in the draft for younger, cheaper, more serviceable wide receivers.
Yeah, they got a ton of really solid wide receivers in this draft, bro. I mean, anything that you want from speedsters, the big physical guys, red zone weapons, all kind of stuff. You have a multiple palette of different guys. That's kind of Let's go to the diva position, KT, because I know you're ready to talk about the QB side of things. Top 2 QBs. A lot of people say it's Cam and Shador. What's your order on some of these quarterbacks? Because Cam and Shador is one thing, but it's a drop from who's the third guy? Any guy close to those two in your opinion? In terms of
based off, all right. So we're gonna go off tape. And we're going to go, our first factor will go off tape. If we're going off tape and performance in big games, I got to go with Quinn Ewers from Texas because he has the accuracy. He has a serviceable deep ball, but it's not like a Jackson Dart, but he still gets it there. He's a leader. He showed me in the SEC championship game when Georgia was knocking him every which way but loose. He kept getting back up and bringing them back in the game. So I got Quinn Ewers as my number 3. I cord Matt Corral 2.0. I'm sorry, Jackson Dart as my 4. I heard you talk about Kyle McCoy. Cord, you saw him at Syracuse. The only reason he wasn't a multi-year starter at Ohio State, Justin Fields, CJ Stroud.
That's right. He transferred out of there, boy. But that dude,
that dude has a live arm. He can light it up. McCoy, smart as a whip. He sees the game. Exactly. You got my points, bro. Hey, I didn't try to flood you with the film, but I know last year's draft, I was busy trying to get in shape and everything. So this year I'm like, okay, I'm in the gym. I got time. Let me send my boy Q some of these players because I know it's getting around that time of year.
I appreciate it, bro. I had like 30 of them suckers though. I might never watch it tape. But yeah, KT, you're right, man. Yeah, McCord. I was telling you, I was like, man, I like McCord. What do you think about some of these other guys, man? Jackson Dart and Jalen Milroe. Where are they at in terms of the draft?
I got as much as I don't really care for him with his upside, I could see Dart going the end of round 1, beginning of round 2.
Yep.
Because he has the mobility. He has the arm. I'm going to say this a lot during the show, Q. I've seen this movie before. It looks familiar.
Oh, yeah, I know.
With the Lane Kiffin system. And I was gonna leave Matt Corral alone. I was gonna go to Jimmy Clausen at Tennessee, but hey, that works too.
Yeah.
But I'm rooting for him. I don't want none of these players to fail and do like I would take Jackson if it came down to Jackson Dart and Riley Leonard, give me Jackson Dart all day. I will pick him up from the airport with a hottie toddy t-shirt on. So Milroe has all the physical tools, but he would need better.
Okay, go ahead, KT. I just wanted to throw that in there. Go ahead, brother.
I am a Milroe fan. My dad doesn't want him. I'm a Milroe fan. Milroe is like this. Raw tools is like Lamar. You need the right coach to groom him and let him develop. Matter of fact, it's like you cooking. Melrose is like you cooking a good beef stew or a gumbo. You gotta take your time with it. You gotta let it marinate, baby. Do you understand what I'm telling you?
I
You
got
gotta
you,
let
brother. I'm
it,
getting hungry.
you gotta let it simmer. So he's gonna need a coach like a Sean McVay or a coach with a quarterback whisper, somewhere where there's no pressure on him. But I see the talent. Quinn Ewers, we both know he's a winner. We know he's
Why?
not the flashy, but he has
Right.
everything.
So why isn't that not the case? Because I know if you watch Quinn and you watch Jackson Dart. Now Jackson Dart had fantastic tape at Ole Miss. I've seen what he did when LSU matched up against him in that Lane Kiffin system, wide
Mhm.
open, a lot of that going on. But what Quinn did in Texas, keeping Arch out of the way from that, because when they were trying to get rid of him any way they can, but him just keep it playing as well as he played. And his game to me is more developed than what you see from Jackson Dart.
Q,
A
you know
lot of
what that
people have
scenario? I ain't mean to cut you off. You know what the scenario reminded me of with him and Arch?
yes.
Remember when the Chargers had Drew and they went and got Phillip Rivers, and no matter what Rivers did, he couldn't take the starting job from Drew until Drew got hurt.
Until he got hurt, yeah.
That's the same thing with Arch, and Arch is a dog,
Yes. I
but Quinn, you know something when you keeping this guy on the bench. Remember, Thurman Thomas didn't win a Heisman, but he kept Barry Sanders on the bench for 2 years.
damn. Yeah.
So there's some good. Now, let's go to, we'll go to tight ends last, but let's do our favorite, the Dancing Bears, the safeties, and I'll give you some draft gems and we can close it on out.
Okay, let's go. Here you go. That's the guy you want to talk about right there.
Bruh, that is Nick Emanuel. I think Stanley would go after him because he's big, he's fast, he's physical. And usually when you have somebody that big, like a small linebacker, they suck in coverage. He can cover tight ends, wide receivers, whatever you need. Dude is like this version of Derwin James. Big, fast, physical, smart. He can cover an athletic tight end. He can come down and be a thumper in a run game. I agree with that ranking. That's my number one safety. He does it all. He's a Swiss Army knife. And Brandon Staley would have a field day with a guy like that.
Yep. Oh, we
That's
have
a blanket.
We have a guy like that, KT, in your secondary, man. I mean, right now we got smallish guys right now playing at the safety position, but this guy, man,
I will tell you
this, that's ridiculous.
Q, remember how would always get on Abrams after we signed him?
Yeah.
He hits like him and another guy hit like Abrams, but they can cover. Now, Nick Emanuel, that LSU game made me start watching him.
Yep.
I put on his tape. I started going back and I'm seeing him. I'm like,
that dude got better over time, though, KT. Noticeably.
Yes.
He gets better. Every game he gets better. He
And
took
he's
Malachi Starks' position, man. He took that first star, and Starks had that for a while. And he just stepped on the scene.
And you know what's crazy, Q? It's rare when you have guys that are that physically gifted but are sponges. Like you usually get that with the guys who may be lacking in one athletic attribute. Like, okay, I need the steady film for that. Okay, some guys like Sean Taylor, rest his soul, had all the athletic ability, but remember when he started watching tape, how that dude, you couldn't do nothing with him. I'm not saying that he's going to be Sean Taylor, but the talent is there.
It's definitely there.
Malachi Starks is okay, but I don't want to talk about him. This is the dude I was telling you about. Andrew Makuba, safety from Texas.
All right, let's go. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Makuba, now do me a favor. Please read his height and weight for me.
6 feet, 190.
He can cover. He's physical. He's in run support, and he will knock your block off. He will knock your in the dirt.
I seen this. I seen this tape.
This dude is. You need a enforcer. That is your enforcer right there.
Yeah.
I think if Jahdae Barron wouldn't have been in the same backfield as him, he would have won the Thor.
Mm-hmm.
I am a fan of his, and usually I don't be like, it's rare where I send you more than one video of a player unless it's short clips. Mm-hmm. With him, Q, you need to check this guy out. Q, you need to check this guy. Q, you saw that one I sent you with that big hit where he dislodged no boy from the ball and the ref didn't even throw the flag.
Nope.
But
he's a heat-seeking missile, KT. Ain't nobody. You're right. He's definitely an enforcer. He brings that nastiness, man. I love his style of play, bro. He's fearless.
Yeah, he's like, Who Dat Nation, forgive me, fam. Great Saints Think Tank, forgive me, fam. I use this reference because that's my favorite breed of dog. Dude is like a pit bull. He doesn't know how big he is. He doesn't know how small he is. He just doesn't care. You put him in a pit, and it's gonna go down.
It's gonna go down. He's a fighter, man. That dude, he's awesome, man. That footage impressed me, man. And I don't understand why he's not higher on some of these boards than where he is, man. But yeah, his tape is really awesome tape to watch. Real physical style of player, man.
And
really.
my number three safety, even though they got him ranked higher than him, he made me a fan of his due to the playoff run. Xavier Watts from Notre Dame. Dude he can tackle. He's a woman. He's not the thumper Makuba is, but he does everything well. He hits. He gives you run support. And dude is a ball hawk. He's a turnover machine.
Yep. Love Xavier Watts, man.
Xavier Watts, Jack Kaiser, and Benjamin Morrison made me a fan of that Notre Dame defense.
Yeah.
It was okay. They didn't play anybody. I saw Xavier Watts, that Georgia game. Yeah, I'm a fan. Hits, covers, and it's not only where you can line them up in the slot or a nickel or catch tight ends or running backs coming out the backfield. That coach had him on receivers a couple times. Xavier Watts is the real deal.
Yeah. Yeah, he's real smart too, KT. IQ player too. Character guy too. Leader.
Yeah, he's a real good character guy and leads by example. He holds his self accountable so his teammates can follow his example.
Need that here. We need, I'm a big accountability guy, bro. What you Oh, go ahead, KT.
Let's go and pivot to the tight ends now.
Okay.
Tight ends. We all know about Tyler Warren. Tyler Warren is basically Taysom Hill had a baby with the Hulk. Basically, this dude is versatile. He is awesome, bro. I haven't seen a tight end with home run speed like that since Kittle before the injuries. Mm-hmm. This dude, he catches well. He runs clean routes.
Blocks. And
even if you want to critique his run blocking, Q, it's not that bad. It's something you can coach up. He's a willing run blocker. He's a serviceable run blocker. Yeah. Is he going to blow you off the line of scrimmage? No, but that can be coached.
Dude got all kind of application. You can use him, and he's just versatile. KT, if you got an imagination, you can move it. You can move this guy around. But he's phenomenal, man.
No disrespect to Colston Loveland. My number 2, don't have a heart attack, fan, when I tell you this. Mason Taylor from LSU is my number 2 tight end. I've been a fan of his since he caught the game winner against Alabama down here in Baton Rouge. So I started watching him. Injuries did cause his production to dip a little bit, but dude was going over the middle, making the tough catches. He improved as a blocker, and when Nussmeier couldn't find when defenses took Lacey away, Nussmeier was going to Taylor, and he did something that I have a problem with most guys his size, like Brandon Coleman. Remember you said You're 6'6", and that size, you should go dominate. You should bully.
Right.
The only person I didn't see him bully, be it a linebacker or a safety he was matched up on, was Jahad Campbell from Alabama. But other than that, he did his thing. This dude is a threat in the receiving game. He's improved his run blocking skills. Dude is tough as nails. He played hurt a lot through the season. I'm a Mason Taylor fan. Dude has earned my respect.
He good, bro. He good. Plus the bloodline won't hurt either. Having that NFL.
I got a player for you since we're talking about bloodline as well, but we're going to skip Arroyo. Let's go to Terrence Ferguson from Oregon.
All right, Ferguson. I thought you was about to take it to Harold Fannin, but yeah, we got Ferguson right there. We talk about him, KT.
Harold Fannin is what's understood don't have to be explained. But Terrence Ferguson, I managed to catch a lot of Oregon games. Run blocking is okay, but this dude was electric run after the catch with the ball in his hand. I had to go back and rewind it a couple times. I'm like, hold on, that's a tight end moving like that?
Yeah, he does have speed. Yeah.
He does have speed because certain times, Q, you look at him he didn't look like a tight end. He looked like a big wide receiver. This dude is 6'5", 260, and he's moving like that. I'm like, yeah, I'm a fan. Now, we know about Harold Fannin. Dude is like, that says it all, Q. Like, anytime you're a tight end and you lead the nation in receiving yards and receptions, yes, you're a bad boy.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Harold Fannin is man.
Gunnar Helm is a good one as well. I just had to see more from Gunnar Helm because, he stayed nicked up in his run blocking. But the guy I kept telling you about, Luke Lachey from Iowa.
Yeah.
Like I like to call, or as me and my dad like to call it, tight end U, because they have put some tight ends in the league. C.
Hawkinson, the kid from Detroit. What's his name?
Laporta.
Yep.
Noah Fant, George Kittle. And see, you want to talk about NFL pedigree? His dad was one of the legendary hogs for the Washington Redskins, Jim Lachey.
That's right.
Super Bowl champ. This dude is a natural receiver. He's a mauler when blocking, but you have to watch it with him. You're the son of the offensive lineman, but you get a little bit too aggressive. You get a little bit too handsy, so you can get holding calls on you. But red zone target, he's it. Short to intermediate route, he's it. He may not be the fastest, but one player isn't going to take him down by itself on a tackle. That's why I'm so high on Luke Lachey.
That's something, man. Tight end, you're right. Anytime, KT, you can get a good one. From that lineage of tight ends they producing out there, man. Lachey wouldn't be a bad pickup for the Saints. We might have an issue bringing back Juwan Johnson. Why not look for somebody else? One of these other, because they got a lot of really good, solid tight ends that can catch the ball as well.
I love Juwan Johnson, but TikTok hubby got to go. You can let Foster go as well. Look, I'm still salty about the Jacksonville game, and look, I don't want no more Derek Carr's friends on this team.
Oh man. Yeah, I know these guys are we need to change it up on that stuff, bro.
Let's see. So you want to go to safeties or you want to go to the Dancing Bears next?
Let's go Dancing Bears, bro. Let's talk about the Bears. We like the linemen, bro. Let's who you got, bro, first up?
Usually, like you said, think and do your own research and don't believe what these analysts telling you.
Right.
Mason Graham, my top two are both of the boys from Michigan. Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant. And the crazy part about them, they're the inverse of each other because what one guy's weakness is the other guy's strength.
That's right.
And vice versa. And with Mason Graham, big as he is, he's solid against the run, but his bread and butter is pass rush. So we get Mason Graham, we could put him at nose and then put Breezy at defensive end and let him do that Bruce Smith, JJ Watt role. You didn't think I remember that? Hold on. Let me go back for my Dome Patrol family. I'm gonna say it again for the people in the back. Robert Goff,
Yep.
Robert Pig
Big
Goff,
golf.
Frank Warren, Big Wayne Martin.
That's right.
Defensive ends that held up against the run but gave you something in the sacks. Mason Graham is a penetrator, whether it's one gap or two gap. He is a dog. That is the best D tackle in the draft. Now, his running buddy, Kenneth Grant, that is a dancing bear, 6'3", 340, holds up against the run. He still, his pass rushing needs is a lot, leaves stuff to be desired, but it can be coached. It can be coached. Imagine he's getting sacks off athletic ability. These two, y'all can hate on me if you want. These two were the reason Michigan beat Ohio State this year, because they said, Judkins, Henderson, you're not going to run the ball. We're going to muddy the game up. We're going to slow the pace down. And we're going to be in your backfield. These are my top two defensive tackles.
Yeah.
Everything else.
Mason Graham is definitely that guy, bro. I don't think he'll be there when the Saints pick, but Kenneth Grant would definitely be there. I don't think
Kenneth Grant, I can see him 2, 3, and 4. You can go get him.
Maybe 2. Yeah.
Now, everything else, I skipped over a lot of guys. With us going to a 3-4, I just looked at D tackles who could be that true nose. That's why I looked at Jamari Caldwell, even though it's easy to look from Jamari Caldwell. I think he's from Oregon.
Caldwell. Yeah, that's right.
Derek Harmon got his teammate Derek Harmon got all the stats because he was flashing on the screen, getting all the sacks. Caldwell was your glue guy. He was holding up against the run. He was commanding double team blocks. He gave you something on a pass rush, but his main goal was what you expect out of your nose tackle. I'm going to command double teams. That way, one of my guys is free.
Right.
So
I see some tape on Caldwell, bro. He's like an unmovable object, man. It takes 2 guys to block that guy every damn time, man.
Same with your boy from Ohio State, Talik Williams. He's a big guy, 6'3", 327, but I see the talent and the potential to play to be a true nose. It would just have to be okay. You need to get at that weight. We need to get your conditioning right. You are a disruptive force. Run and pass is just, can we get you the proper conditioning so you don't have to throw that church finger up when you need a breather? We can keep you in there on those long sustained drives because you CQ. The offense is now going more tempo, so they're going to try to tire out and wear down your defensive lineman.
That's right. They got to be ready. What do you think about Alfred Collins, bro?
Bruh, Alfred Collins, I had to wait to see what his weight was going into the combine and see if he could. But yeah, that's a true nose. I would put another about 5 to 10 pounds on him. He can hold up, but I see him more as that pass rushing nose. He's solid against the run, but he makes his bread and butter pass rushing, penetrating, chasing down quarterbacks.
Deion Walker's another interesting one too. I was watching film on him, KT. 6'6", 345.
6'6", 345 Q, and this is the thing. He's okay against the run. Deion Walker is known, you see, he's always in the backfield. Light on his feet, has that motor. So you never have to worry about his endurance, and his cardio is just what I've seen and what I've read is is he taking plays off, or is he not feeling it, or they have questions on that, or are you just tired?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the.
I wouldn't be mad if we got Deion Walker. That's another position besides cornerback and offensive. Cornerback, offensive line, D tackle. I see us double dipping, either draft or free agency. If we address it once, we'll address it again. But Deion Walker would be perfect. Now, if we did double dip at defensive tackle, the next two guys I'm going to tell you would make our line scary because we would have a young, physical defensive line. Deion Walker and the most slept on D tackle, Yaya Black from Iowa.
Oh yeah.
This dude doesn't look it, but he's 6'3", 330, about 330, 335. Is good against the run, gets a low center of gravity. You can't move him off the point of attack. He'll give you something, pressure, and maybe a sack and a half a game. But big as this guy is, nonstop motor. He just was slept on because Iowa had a mass season. Another one, got to show love to my SEC players. Do you see Nazir Stackhouse anywhere on that queue?
Yeah, Georgia.
Yeah.
6'3", 320.
Big guy, a true nose tackle. Not like I see him more of Ty Warren, not a Vince Wilfork D tackle, but a Ty Warren where you give him that job, tell him to do it well, and he's going to do it. He is a plug and play day one nose. And more athletic than what you think, not this past season, but the season before, when Georgia was going back and forth with Missouri. He tipped a Brady Cook pass at the line of scrimmage, caught it for an interception, and took off running. This is a 330-pound man.
I seen that film, that highlight, bro. Yeah, that was pretty impressive, man. Yeah, it's just uncanny that these some of these guys, how they are, KT. These big guys, really big guys that move like linebackers. Some of these guys, man, and their ball skills is awesome, man. The awareness, running, and all this kind. Yeah, it's amazing. This is no longer the age of the big slow ass defensive line. Some of these guys very light on their feet.
Remember, Q, last draft show we did when we were talking about D tackles, and we got up to your boy Ika from LSU and Mozzie Smith, who I hope the Cowboys release. We called them. That's where we came up with that term. Mm-hmm. A guy that dancing bears. They're that big, but they're so light and agile on their feet.
Right.
Yeah. So that's the D tackle. Running back class, Q. What's your preference? What's your flavor? Do you like chocolate, vanilla? Do you want Coke? Do you want Pepsi? Do you want Mountain Dew? Do you want Dr. Pepper? Do you want Mr. Pibb? This running back class is so deep. You can go to round 5 and 6 and get your day one plug and play starting running back.
I'll tell you what, in interest of time, KT, because we kind of running out of time. We'll go running backs and then we'll go top 3 of your favorite running backs, and then the you still ain't talk about your offensive linemen. So we'll go 3-on-3 for each one of these. But what is your top 3 on the running backs?
Jesse is one. Enough explained. Does everything well. My number 2, everybody sleeps on him. Amarion Hampton. Big physical running back and run through the tackles. Has home run speed. Can block. But he's not known for being a receiver out the backfield. But he is serviceable. And my number 3 is Quinshon Judkins from Ohio State, because he showed he's a smaller back, but he can still run in between the tackles. Him and Henderson. I love his
physicality though. KT, this guy here uses stiff arm. He nasty. I mean, the guy is vicious. He's hard to bring him down. He uses stiff arms. The guy, I love Judkins, man.
You want to know what's the crazy part about that, Q though? He does all that, and you didn't mention you forgot to mention one other thing about him. This dude can make you miss him in a phone booth. He is deadly in space.
He awesome, man. Catches the ball,
Yeah,
running in between. The guy is awesome, man. I don't see why Judkins is not high on in some of these running back lists. He's phenomenal, man. I was watching tape on him. You sent me some stuff too. And the guy is
yeah,
just mean. I love his style of running. He's hard to bring down. He's stiff. Yeah, he'd definitely put you on the highlight reel. No doubt about that.
yeah. And for time, let's get to we saved the best for last. Let's go to the offensive lineman.
Okay.
You want to go guards, tackles?
You start with your guard, your guards first, KT. You know that's a problem for us right now.
All right. Two of my top three are LSU. Josh Simmons. Two of my top three guards are LSU Tigers. Tyler Booker, I think, is going to be gone. Now, Miles Frazier and Garrett Dellinger, big, physical, nasty, tone setters on offensive line. Is just Dellinger is like average athletic ability, but he's that tone setter. He's that glue guy. He's that mauler you want. He's that offensive lineman, like you said. Erik McCoy's too cool for school. He's going to spit in your face and say what you're going to do about it. He's going to get offended that you put a defensive lineman in front of him because he wants to run the ball and impose his will. Same with Miles Frazier. The only Miles Frazier, copy and paste everything I said. The only knock on Miles Frazier, the lateral quickness.
Mm-hmm.
But both of them good in run blocking and pass blocking. And they would fit that big offensive lineman that Kellen Moore wants. My third guy would be Luke. Tate Ratliff is a beast, but my third guy would be Luke Kandra from Cincinnati.
Okay.
Luke Kandra is a guard. He excels in pass blocking, run blocking. This dude only had 2 penalties his whole college career. So he's physical, mean, and smart. 2. Not just at Cincinnati. Louisville and Cincinnati. 2 penalties in 4 years? I take that every day, all day, twice on Sunday.
You ain't lying, brother. You ain't lying. You damn right, man. 2 penalties. That's a smart offensive lineman.
Leading by example and showing accountability for your actions. Not, okay, we got a penalty here. No, what the F we doing? Let's shake back.
Right.
Now, let's get to tackles because I know you've been waiting on this and you think I hate your boy.
Let's go, KT. Let's hear it, brother.
You can have it either way. My top 2 tackles are Will Campbell from LSU and Kelvin Banks from Texas. The only reason I have Will Campbell at my number 2 offensive tackle, dude is light on his feet. Dude is mean, aggressive. He can run. He excels at run blocking and pass blocking. I don't even care about his arm length because they were plenty long enough. I do not hate Will Campbell. The reason I dropped him was a Texas A&M game where Nick Sporton and the other guy, Shamar Stewart, ate his lunch.
They did.
That game.
Yeah, that was a bad game for him. That's far and few in between, though, KT. I mean, he don't.
And see, Kelvin Banks Jr., the only reason I had put him over Will Campbell, they both do everything well. They're both technically sound. Kelvin Banks Jr., to me, was a little bit better athlete than Will Campbell and had slightly better footwork. Will Campbell has some footwork. Will Campbell can move. I just thought Kelvin Banks Jr. had some better footwork. That's why.
He can be played, but he has application at tackle and guard, KT. So he definitely can help the Saints at that left guard spot, brother.
Kelvin Banks Jr. is a tackle. Same with Cameron Williams at Texas. Same with Emory Jones. Same with Will Campbell.
So you don't see him as them kicking him to guard, KT?
I would go down there and slap Mickey in his face and call you to bail me out, bro.
I'm just saying, bro. They already
Kelvin,
saying it.
they also said the world was flat. And how did that work out?
There you go. But I'm just saying, man, at the end of the day, they are saying that the scouts are saying his versatility, that he does, that they could see him at guard, inside guard. I'm not mad at either one, but go ahead, bro.
Both of them are tackle. Josh Simmons is the only, and this is me being partial. The top 4 tackles, both of the LSU tackles and both of the Texas tackles are my top 4. Josh Simmons from Ohio State is my best of the rest, and the only reason is Josh Simmons, we saw everything. He got better as the season went along, but he got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
This dude is well athletic. You see the footwork, you see the speed, you see the lateral quickness, pulls, traps. This guy can do it all. He's like a Swiss Army knife of offensive linemen. He can do it all. It's just that how is he going to shake back from that injury?
Somebody might have a gift for him, man, later on, it depending on how well that he does, man. So yeah, I've seen tape on Josh Simmons, bro.
He's another, and not the guy from Rutgers, Holland Pierce, who I sent you about. That's who I see converting to a guard at the next level. But Arante Ursay from Minnesota, that is a big, physical, athletic mauler. The only thing is with him, he's coming to the league where he is in his career. He's more ahead of Trevor Penning. But they have similar traits. Like when they get beat a little bit, they panic and not try to recover. They'll try to hold or grab or try to be overly.
Yeah.
You want that aggression, but you want them to be smart with it.
Right. That's exactly. I
saw him, and I've seen him where this dude has on run plays where he's blocked the defensive end to the safety. I've seen him where on pancake blocks where the ref has had to pull him off. This guy is vicious. This guy is physical. This guy has good technique. And he's still being coached. He's still coachable. So you can have a coach get on him and chew him out, and he's going to shake back, and he's not going to be boo-hooing in his feelings. Ursay is a dog. Cameron Williams from Texas is a dog. Johnny Cornelius from Oregon is an athletic technician at offensive line. He's like a professional. He's like Hitman. Cam Williams, he didn't get a lot of shine because you got Kelvin Banks Jr. on the other side. So it is what it is. But he could be a good starting right tackle or left tackle. He could play both. He has the athletic ability. He has the pedigree. He has the technique.
Yeah, we got, man, there's so many great players though, KT, man. A lot of good, like you said, it's a ton of talented players, man, that you can look to, man, as for your offensive line. And we know, man, we damn sure could use some help at the guard position. And if you got a good tackle that fall to you, I'm not against them kicking.
Pull up Holland Pierce for me too, real quick. I just want to show the fam how ridiculous this guy is.
Which one is it?
The one from the big tackle from Rutgers.
Oh,
Holland Pierce Jr.
Oh yeah, Holland Pierce. Yeah, 6'8", 344. Damn.
This big as he, this I see his versatility. Now, the only reason I'm saying I can see him convert to guard Q is with speed rushers that slide that tackles do all tackles do to get in their blocks.
A 6'8"
It's like,
guard.
remember Carl Nix was a big guard. Carlos Nix was like 6'6",
6'5".
330.
Yeah, he was like 6'5", something like that for Carl Nix. Yeah, you
So,
got a point on that. Go ahead, KT.
but the thing is with him, he can't for his size. He handles speed rushers and power rushers very well. The only thing is with speed rushers, his Achilles is getting getting into that slide block off the line of scrimmage,
Mm-hmm.
coming around the edge. Other than that, he has the strength, the power, and the base to balance himself. It's just that slide, getting into that slide fast enough. He doesn't look big, clunky, or robotic when he's blocking. It's just the technique. So that's one of the guys I would see it'd be better to kick him inside the guard. And bonus, just because you mentioned it, you talked about getting a backup center for Erik McCoy.
Yes.
Look at the boy from Ohio State, Seth McLaughlin.
Yep, 6'4", 305. McLaughlin. I seen him play, man. The guy's is pretty. He's a workman.
Dude is Richie Incognito without the crazy.
Yeah,
If he's on, he puts in the work. If he's one of those players, he's quarterback of the offensive lineman. He reads protection as well. He calls the play. He knows what the defense is running, blocks, works his butt off, and he's one of those players. If he's on your side, you love him. If you're playing against him, you're going to hate him, not because he's a dirty player, but he's going to kick your butt, tell you how he kicked your butt, and continue talking about how he's going to continue to kick your butt throughout the game. And that's the center.
That's what we need, man. We need somebody like this, man. We need to look at him somewhere in the draft. I don't know where he goes, day 2, something like that. But man, we could use a player like McLaughlin, man, to be honest with you, especially with McCoy keep accruing these injuries, man, and how the Saints look without a center last year. It wasn't the look.
It really wasn't, especially when, to be honest with you, I thought Connor McGovern had retired last year until McCoy got hurt and we went and got him. I'm like, wait a minute, he's still in the league? But yeah, McLaughlin is my top-rated center. You got another one. You got to forgive me because I had trouble with his name. The center from Wyoming, Nofo Tulafina, something like that. He's a center from Wyoming.
I don't think they got a listing on here, KT.
Okay. Yeah, I just seen him, dude. Rugged, big Polynesian kid, run physical, nasty mauler, playing out there in that cold in the mountains of Wyoming. Sleepless? Yeah. You a different kind of cat.
You ain't kidding, man. That's a warrior there, brother.
Yeah, so got a chance to touch base with you.
Hey. KT, that ain't the end of it, bro. I'm gonna be bringing you back, man, because we got some other stuff we're gonna touch on more in particular, man, so we can kind of delve into some of these position groups show by show, and touch on some more of these guys and their talents heading into the draft. You know, we got a good ways away before the draft, so ain't no doubt about it, man. And looking over some of these players that can help the Saints, man, on all sides of the ball, man.
Yeah, next video we'll cover linebackers, linebackers and other positions we need to touch.
Right.
My original point was I didn't send you a draft gems video, this draft gems and small school players to watch out for video.
Oh yeah. We got we're gonna cover all that, KT. We got plenty of time, my brother. We're gonna delve into it, man, and go show by show so we can really unpack it. But listen, bro, I like to thank you for coming on here. Y'all give a round of applause to the great Saint Think Tank Super Scout, our brother KT, man, in here representing the mighty Who Dat Nation, man. You hear all of this good game on the prospects, man. KT does this every year, man. When this is this time of the year, man, KT start breaking it all down. He's very knowledgeable. So y'all give him a round of applause, man, the brother KT. And like I said, we're gonna bring him back down the line, because it's time to go through all this stuff, man. We're gonna find out who the right guys is, so when the time comes for the Saints to make the picks, we'll be well educated on who these people are. But KT, listen, brother, shout out to you, appreciate you, man, and for coming on the stream, bro. And we're gonna bring you back, bro, so just be looking out.
All right, bro, I'll be in touch. Thanks for having me. Y'all have a good night.
Appreciate you. That's KT, y'all, man. Shout out to my brother, man, KT, man. Yeah, that was a good show, man. I appreciate KT stopping by, man, dropping some game on the show, man. Yeah, that's big, man. All right, so big ups to y'all, man. Appreciate y'all as well for being in the stream, man. Much love. And also shout out, man, to the family members with the Cash App, man. Hold on here and make sure. Brother Denzel Johnson. Shout out to brother Denzel Johnson. Shout out to you. Shout out to my girl Muse, man. Shout out to Trinity Montoya for the Cash App. Much love to you, Trinity. Thank you. I always love that name, Trinity. Shout out to brother Denzel Johnson with the super chat as well. Appreciate you, my brother, for that as well. Appreciate y'all, man. Much love to all y'all as well for that. And big ups to the rest of the fam, man, for doing your thing. Let me see what he got here. Did he? Hold on, man. I'm trying to get this thing saved. Oh, he says, okay, bobbing with the Johnsons. All right. Shout out to you, my brother. Keep grinding. All right. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man, for that as well. And let me see what Muse say there. Hold on, Muse. Hold on. Let me get you on here, baby. This damn thing here. Oh, I sound like an old man up here talking. All right. Okay. Thank you, Trinity. Appreciate you, sweetheart. She just got a heart on there. Thank you. All right. So anyway, big ups to the rest of the fam, man. Y'all please feel free to do me a service. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. All by means, feel free to share the show on your social media feed. And shout out to our dog KT, man. Dropping some good game on that. We'll be back, fam. Remember, this is busy time right now. We got a lot of stuff going on. The Saints will continue to all of these different restructures over the next, I see, several days. You'll hear the Saints with all these different restructures going on. So you're going to hear the car thing. That's the biggest one. People looking out for the car restructuring. That's where a bunch of the major money is and all other stuff that's going on. So y'all just hang close on that, man. We're going to get it all covered. So with that being said, y'all feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the sub button. If you're not a sub up, join the mighty Who Dat Nation, the Sports Coma representing. And also feel free to give a shout out to our show sponsors, Mint Mobile, Tees, Henley, and Bet Online. The links are in the description section below, and you can get some of those deals that they're offering. With that being said, I'm going to get on up out of here. Listen, I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a fantastic rest of y'all evening. I'm going to get back to you at a later date. Much love. Who Dat to you. Peace.
Yeah. Boogie like Benson, I'm a Who Dat. I'm a Who Dat. Long as I'm living, I'm a Who Dat. Lose or winning, I'm a Who Dat. Sports Coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a Who Dat. I'm a Who Dat. Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shade for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy and you probably smell the crooked referees or Roger Goodell. Running like this and I'm a Who Dat. Every day I'm living, I'm a Who Dat. Lose or winning, I'm a Who Dat. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this and I'm a Who Dat. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that.
Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that?
Bet Online is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, Bet Online is your ultimate game day companion with the largest selection of odds on everything from NBA and college basketball to NHL and UFC. Bet Online continues to be your number one sports betting source for every three-pointer to hat trick. Bet Online has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. Bet Online, the game starts here.
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who Dat, you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who Dat in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. So check out the Pro Shop and Who Dat.